So we're about to begin our time of prayer together. And I know many times I get questions or I hear people say, how do I get to know God more? How do I know if it's His voice or my voice? Well, I think that's not unlike any other relationship. If I was to have a new friend that I wanted to get to know better, and I went up to him and I said, hey, how do I get to know you better? What would they say? They would simply say, well, come hang out with me, spend some time with me, or let's go do this together. But at the end of the day, all of the things we do are to spend time with that individual to get to know their thoughts, their mind, what their interests are, and so on and so forth. And when it comes to God, that is exactly what we're doing in prayer. We are coming to God to spend time with Him, to get to know His mind more. What are His thoughts? What are His will? What are His interests in this world? What is He wanting to see come about in this world? And learning how to not just be with Him, but to also be like Him. And like we have been reading already these last few days in Genesis chapter 1 and in chapter 2, that God has created man in His own image and likeness. So we are to be kind of the mirror image of what the goodness and the grace and the mercy and all of the attributes of God, which we're going to be talking a lot about over this next 3 weeks that we're in. That is, how do we represent that here in this world? And that is a part of the good news that we're going to be discussing. But as we're jumping into our time of prayer, it is in fact to spend time with God and to align ourselves with the truth of the good news of the gospel. It is to bring ourselves into alignment with His will, His plan, and His purposes, and to spend time with Him. Many times when we do this, if we take the moment, take the breath, stop what it is, the busyness of this world, that it begs you to hurry. That is one of the reasons why we struggle with prayer the most, is the hurry. And we have to, as a Christ follower, have ruthless elimination of hurry in our lives. Ruthlessly search and find to say, I will take time to spend time with God. And prayer is our first way that we do that. Even beyond the reading of Scripture, prayer is really the first thing. Beyond the knowledge of seeing all the connections that Scripture is going to hold, which we're going to talk about even more today. Yes, it's important, but it is not the most important. The most important piece is us submitting ourselves to the will, plans, and purposes of God in prayer. Prayer is our primary communication with God. And so yesterday we kind of did our prayer as a gratitude only. And what I want to do is continue that. I want to continue that today, to spend a few moments in gratitude and in thanksgiving, in a time where we don't ask anything of God. We don't bring any of our requests, although yes, we of course can. Scripture tells us we should. But just as a time to sit back and say, I am going to give gratitude. Even if it is the same things you said yesterday. Say them again, yes. Be grateful for them again. But really stop and think about those things. Call them by name and be specific, as we said yesterday. Don't just say, I am thankful for my family. Yes, be thankful for your family. But say, I am thankful for my spouse, and name them. And thank God for them, and specifically why you're grateful for them, and your children and aunts, uncles, and brothers and dad, mom, whatever it is. If you're going to say family, if you're going to say it's my house or this and that and the other, it's where I live or whatever it is that you're grateful for, the job that you have and so on, the church you attend, whatever it is. When you pray this prayer of thanksgiving and gratitude, be specific in it and just bring only that to God and giving Him gratitude and thanks, because that is the beginning, as Psalms 100 says. So spend this time in pure gratitude of God as we get ready to jump in and learn a little bit more about the gospel from the very beginning and how John sets us off to it. Let's give God gratitude and thanks.